On here. We are excited that you are all on here tonight. I'm going to move a few things around here, and I love this night because it's just us. And Linda, it's just us tonight. So I love just us. It always makes me feel great when it's just us. So I don't know how all this stuff got. Let me remove this pin here. And thank you, Diane, for that. I need to just move something around here. Something got messed up. Uh,
Sorry, you have to put me like a translator. I cannot
Oh
translate
yeah,
with you.
yeah. I forgot that too. Oh man,
Okay.
I'm messing up big time here tonight. Okay. I think I'm not used to where I'm supposed to be on this camera, but it doesn't matter. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being on here tonight. We're glad you're on here. Oh my goodness. Did you like that movie, by the way, that video? It's called Pride Points. And one of the things I love about it, and you can find it on YouTube. I don't know why we take it off things, but it doesn't really matter. But it's called Pride Points. And I love it because it does share a lot about our company and our culture and how we've grown. Well, I could not be more excited for all of you to be on here tonight. If you're here for my good friend who I always pull out and say, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. You know, one of the great things I love about Linda is she's like, okay, I'm here. Let me know what my assignment is. And then tonight she sent me all these things to do, and I'm like, wait, I don't know. But I have them ready to pull up, Linda. So when you're ready, I'll screen share them for you. Now, Yemi did ask me, does she have notes? And I said, no, she's probably just gonna, maybe, I don't know.
I
Yemi
do
goes,
ha I have an outline.
see, Yemi is going to follow you in Spanish. And she
Okay.
said, does she talk as fast as you? And I said, no, you're saved there. So that's a saving grace for her. And anyway, so I just want to say thank you. I do want to introduce Linda properly. For those of you who are here on the very first time to hear Linda speak, I do want to introduce her properly, but I do want to say to all of you consultants, and this is just from me, and Linda probably will back me up in this, get to career conference. Okay? Yeah, you need to go to career conference. Everybody on here. All right, so here we go. I don't know whether to do the facts, the career highlights, or everything, but I'll just do a few things on here because there's a lot about Linda Toupin that you all need to know. Okay? So career highlights. She joined in 1982. You and I have the same common situation there. 1982, debuted as a director in 83. 30 years as a pink Cadillac unit. 21 times as $1 million unit. That's 21 times as $1 million unit. That's crazy. Okay. Top 20 in the nation 22 times. Debuted as a national sales director in August of 2000. Inner Circle sales director 2 times. And debuted as a national sales director emeritus in 2020. There are so many facts, so many things. Her highest check is probably on here somewhere. I don't know where all this stuff, but I tried. Anyway, this is about you tonight, and I just want to thank you, my friend, for always stepping up. You always look beautifully gorgeous and amazing. I just think that you'll never stop. And so I'm just super excited to have you here on here with us. I learned how to do this. I think I did it right. I think if you hold it here long enough, watch this. Oh, I did it. See? I know how to do that. Yeah, so if you do that on your screen share, I know this is like education here for everybody. So if you do this and you hold it and you're the person who's doing it, see what I just accomplished? I don't know if you can do it or not, but you're co-hosted. All right, you guys can take me off the screen. It's all on you, girlfriend, so take it away. You're good.
Is Janice True just like not the best? Like, if you're going to cheer for somebody tonight, cheer for this woman who somehow manages to adopt the entire Mary Kay National area and pours hundreds of hours into bringing you great training every single week. So that's who deserves all the links. And it was so exciting. Janice, how many people are on here? I got through 7 pages and I don't know how many that is. There's probably more than that right
I
now.
see, well, I see 441.
Well, 441 people. I prayed tonight before I got on that some sentence, just one sentence, one thought that I would give you would answer a prayer. And I gave a lot of thought to tonight, Janet. Uh, I want to start by playing a little game with you. So, everybody ready to play a game? And I have trained overseas, so I do know how to pause. and not talk super fast, Janice. First of all, what I want everyone to do right now, wherever you are, if you're in a car driving or if you're in your house and you're in a room, I want you to play a game with me. I want you to look around your room and I want you to find everything in that room that is brown. Okay, so just do a little memorization for just a second. Like look around the room, take a note of everything you see. It's your house that's brown. Okay, everybody done that? Now I want you to close your eyes and I want you to tell me everything in your room that's blue. All right. You can't do that, can you? Because you weren't looking for blue. You were looking for brown. So you see, in life, you get what you look for. You get in your life what you look for. If you look for brown, you find brown. If you look for blue, you find blue. If you look for good, you find good. If you look for dark, you find dark. So the message here tonight is I really want to talk to you like you were my children, my daughter, my granddaughter. I'm not a person who minces words. I'm not going to sugarcoat something so that you feel good about yourself. I want to tell you a quick story. I have three little granddaughters. They just live down the road from me. And one of them was born in October a year ago. Okay. And her mama is a diabetic. And so there was some problems. So when they got home from the hospital, there was some problems, like serious problems. And she had to be rushed back to the hospital. Now, in that home are two other granddaughters who were at that time 9 and 7. And no matter how we painted that picture, they could tell we were stressed and they were scared. Their mama had been gone, had a new baby. Now their mama was being rushed back to the hospital. So the next morning, I had the job of taking my granddaughters to school. Now, mama's still in the hospital, you know, and had she been having that baby 100 years ago, she would have died. But, you know, modern medicine is great. But I could tell the kids were scared and they were getting out of the car in the school line. And before they got out, they were trying so hard to be brave. And I looked at both of them and I said, repeat after me. We can do hard things. I didn't tell them it was going to be all right. I didn't tell them it was all going to work out. I told them that we can do hard things. So tonight, you guys, I don't know what's going on in your life. I don't know why I felt heavy about you tonight. But whatever is going on in your life, I'm going to say to you what I said to my granddaughters. We can do hard things. So tonight, I'm going to tell you how to have what I have had from this business. And I have a mission that when I get done speaking tonight, that you are grounded, you are centered, you are principled, and you are calm. I want to repeat that. That is my goal, is that when I'm done speaking tonight, you are grounded, you are centered, you are principled, and you are calm. And my wish is that you could have my journey for the past since 1982. My life has been one of consistency, steadiness, full of growth, and full of abundance. I had the honor of knowing Mary Kay Ash and traveling with her. The last dinner I shared with Mary Kay Ash, I said to her these words: how can I ever thank you for helping me find the gifts that were inside of me? How can I ever thank that woman for helping me find the gifts that were inside of me? I was a really good school teacher. inside of me and found an abundance of gifts that I did not know I had. And that's what I want for you. I don't want just money. I don't want just fame for you. I want you to discover gifts that God planted in you before you were born because I know that this company will help you find them. And those gifts were discovered because of Mary Kay Ash's principles. So if I'm going to grow you into the kind of woman and the kind of business that I had, I know it has to be principally based. Remember what my goal was tonight? That you are grounded, that you are centered, you are principled, and you are calm. Calmness comes from wisdom. Calmness comes from discernment. Calmness comes from wisdom. You know, Mary Kay had a vision for her company. Do you know what it was? Have you studied her book? In this chat, twice tonight, I have made a list of books that I want you to start reading. If you're going to grow up in Mary Kay and be wise and centered and disciplined and strong, and nothing can blow you down, trees that have very, very deep roots are not blown over. And so I've given you that list. You can scroll back. Janice can post them again. But obviously, the first two on the list was Mary Kay's autobiography, which should be on your nightstand. You literally reread it over and over again. And the other one is Mary Kay on people management. If you do not know why you're doing this and what it stands for and what Mary Kay's vision was, then you're selling makeup. You're on social media hawking a product. There is nothing noble about that. There's nothing glamorous about that. That is not what you want for your life's purpose. But if you understand what your real mission is in Mary Kay, then it is deep and it is noble. So there are books I want you to begin to read. I want them to become a part of who you are in order for you to grow in this business. And the list is posted there. You can copy them down. Mary Kay's autobiography. Mary Kay on people management is a leadership book. If you're going to lead a team, then you need that book. Then we're going to go back in time. 1937, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's not about money. 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. I do not know even how you stay married or have children or have relationships if you do not understand the 5 love languages. The DISC behavioral models is required if you're a new consultant because you can literally say the wrong thing and talk people out of what you just talked them into. You must understand the 4 behavioral styles, and we won't go through those tonight, but your director can lead you through those, and there is a free test you can take online. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. These are not old-time things. These are things that make wise people, discerning people. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. If those are in your library and those are the things you read, you will be a very strong, disciplined woman. You will be very centered. You will be very grounded. You will be very principally based. Mary Kay Ash was a member of the Great Generation. The Great Generation is probably the most famous of all the generations. In her category is Martin Luther King, Billy Graham, Mother Teresa, people that literally changed the world, Nelson Mandela. This was a generation of people who were selfless. It was not about them. They would have not survived on social media because the world did not revolve around them. They were about others. And they changed the world in a way that's literally that is even hard to comprehend. And so understand that what Mary Kay stands for is very noble, it's very honorable, and it's very big. There's a lot of words that float around today in society, and one of them is influencer. There is a world of difference between an influencer and a leader. There is a world of difference between the word influencer and leader. Leaders are always influencers. Influencers are rarely leaders. You want to be a leader who is an influencer that changes people's lives and people's lives that have not been born yet. See, when you change a woman's self esteem and her self confidence through a platform called Mary Kay, you don't just change her and her children today, you change generations that have not been born. So, what do we do in this business called Mary Kay? Well, first of all, we teach women how to run a business from their home. All right? I can teach you everything you need to know about makeup in the next 1 minute. The lipstick goes right here. The blusher goes somewhere in this vicinity. The eyeshadow goes right here. The mascara goes on your lashes. That's not what you teach. You are teaching women how to feel good about themselves. You're listening, you're caring, you're empowering. As a recruiter, you're teaching women how to run a business from their home, how to manage time, how to manage money, how to manage their emotions, how to set healthy boundaries, and more importantly, helping other women find gifts that are inside of them. What a powerful job. What an incredible life you will have if that's what you do. I'm at the age right now where I attend a lot of funerals, and many of them are women who I know or have known throughout my Mary Kay career. And I'm not talking national sales directors, I'm not talking even sales directors, I'm talking consultants. The most common words spoken at a consultant's funeral by her children, and I hear it over and over again, was the following words: the happiest days of my mama's life was when she was in Mary Kay. She would get so dressed up on Monday night, and she got so pretty. She always felt so pretty on Monday night. She smelled good. And she made us listen to all those recordings, all those cassettes, all those CDs, all of those downloads. Those didn't change my mama's life. They changed our life when we listened to them in the car with her. The other day, I went to a funeral. The girl had not been in Mary Kay for probably 15 years. They had her red jacket, her ribbons, and her awards and her pins on display. I promise you, when you invest in women's lives and you change their life and you change generations not yet born, nothing could possibly be more fulfilling in your life than that. The tool we use is makeup. So, if I'm going to teach you as if you were my own daughter or granddaughter, and I'm not going to mince words and I'm not going to say a bunch of fluffy things to make you feel good, I'm going to teach you how to do this right. I'm going to teach you how to grow and how to grow yourself. You cannot grow a team that is a 10 if you are a 3. The person you're always changing is yourself. Quit trying to change your children. Quit trying to change your husband. You married them. Okay, these are your children. Change yourself. Constantly growing yourself. That's how you find these gifts that are inside of you. I would not have had to change it all to continue my job as a school teacher, but I have had to constantly change myself as a Mary Kay consultant, director, and national. So, what are some things that I want to go over with you about how, if I were you right now, okay, if I was starting all over, what would I do? What would my strategy? I think more like a man than a woman. So I'm more of a strategist than a feeler. Okay. I'm not a feeler, I'm a thinker. And so strategy is very, very important in this business. Feeling is very important when you're sitting with a woman and you're listening and you touch her hand. and you empathize and you sympathize. That's when feeling is very, very important. But as a businesswoman, when you're in your office, when you're on a call like this tonight, when you are literally running a company, because I saw some new people in here tonight, you're the president, you're the vice president, secretary, treasurer, and PR person. So you're completely in charge. Then that's when you become very analytical and you become very strategic. So the first thing I would say to all of you is that I'm jealous. I would give anything to trade my $8 million to start all over again and be you with whatever customer base you have, no matter how small. Because you have been born in an amazing era. Do you know at the tip of my finger? Look at your finger. Look at your finger. Do you know with the tip of your finger, I can change the temperature in my house? My grandmother and great grandmother had to go chop wood and burn fires and work all day to change the temperature in their house. Do you know that I do laundry with the touch of a button? My great grandmother worked all day to do that laundry. Do you know that literally a woman took her finger the other day and scanned my body for cancer? We live in the most amazing time. Do you know what else is at the tip of your finger? The power to eliminate distractions, the power to control what you listen to, what you let in your life, what you let your eyes see and your ears hear. You can swipe, you can wiggle that little app until it deletes. You can block, you can unfollow. You can literally control your mind with the tip of your finger. You are in this incredible age where I had to drive 60,000 miles a year because I didn't know whether or not she was going to be there if she didn't answer her phone. And today you have a million ways to communicate. I am jealous of all of you. You are in the best time ever. I have posted 2 articles in here. You may have to scroll back up, or Janice or somebody may be able to find them and dump them back in here again.
Do you want me to screen share them, Linda?
Uh, Not necessarily. That'll
Okay.
just take time. That'll just take time. Thank you. The Wall Street. Okay, go ahead. That'll be fine. The Wall Street Journal last October posted an article that said, let me see. Okay, here we go. The title was "We're Not Dead Yet." But as a strategic businesswoman, you need to know what this article says and write this down. If you guys are taking notes, hopefully you're taking notes. Hopefully you are literally sitting in business attire. Hopefully you are sitting with a notebook and an ink pen and you're prepared to grow tonight. I hope that you come to training prepared to grow. 70% of all the wealth in America belongs to people over 55. Now, that is actually incorrect. I just looked it up tonight. It's 72%. 72% of all the wealth in America belongs to people over 55. So, okay, if I'm you and I'm just starting, who in the world am I going to target? The people who have all the money. The second article, Janice, if you want to share it, was a recent article.
Okay, let me find that one.
It's okay. It was called Entrepreneurs, the Hottest Entrepreneurs, I think, or something along those lines. Yeah, the new age of entrepreneurship is 70 to 79. This is Wall Street Journal, just in the past, I think, 2 months, 3 months. Okay, thank you, Janice, for that. We can go back to this. Okay, so let's talk about strategy for a second. All right. I don't care if you're on here and you're 18 years old or you're 88 years old. You need to be smart when you run your business. First of all, you got to know who has money and who don't have money. And if they don't have money, then you have to find the people who have a work ethic who wants to earn money. All right. So if I'm you, I'm going to target people over 55 because they have the money. So that's the grandma. But I want to meet the 18-year-old. So how am I going to meet the 18-year-old? I'm going to go through the grandma. The grandma has the money. She can buy the product. She will introduce me to her daughter, who will buy the product, and they will introduce me to the 20-year-old who doesn't have any money, but she may have fire and she may have grit and she may have a work ethic and she has a will to win and she has energy. All right. So play your cards right. You start with grandma. Grandma's got the money. The mom is going to support the grandma, and the granddaughter is going to support her mom. So, one of the things you want to really highlight in your business right now is multi generational parties. Everybody knows I teach this, so they're constantly tagging me on social media with all their multi generational parties, the grandma, the mom, and the granddaughters. They're all lined up. And that's who you want to recruit. You don't recruit just one, you recruit all three. You recruit all three generations. So that's your first strategy. Now, notice the second article in the Wall Street Journal said that the hottest entrepreneurial market is women and men over 70. Okay, this is the first time in American history this has ever happened. It's because they're healthier. We are healthier. Like, I am as healthy today as I would think, in my 70s, as women would have been maybe in their 40s a few years ago. Okay, so what we see now across America is people who are like, I want a side gig. I want extra money. I'm not done yet. Retirement has its limits of fun. Okay, and so again, who would you target? So I have a very interesting market for this. There is a world full of former Mary Kay consultants. Do you know this? There's probably 3 million alone in America. They love Mary Kay. I would gamble that 95% of the former Mary Kay people who used to do Mary Kay that don't do Mary Kay today would say, I love being in Mary Kay. But something happened. They got a divorce. They had a kid. Somebody died. Something happened. Their life changed. People's lives change every 6 months. My daughter has the number 4 unit in the United States. 2 of her top 10 came in the past 2 years. Former Mary Kay consultants. They're in their late 50s, early 60s. Who has all the money? They loved Mary Kay back in the 1990s when they were 20-something. Life happened, and they're like, I love Mary Kay. I miss getting dressed up. I miss going to seminar. Like, I haven't had a reason to buy a gown since 1995. Okay? And guess what? They don't need a lot of training. They know inventory is important. They buy inventory. They know how to work. They know how to do a facial. They know how to do a party. And they show up for everything. So if I was starting my business today, even if I was 18 years old, who am I targeting? The people who have the money. They're going to bring me their daughters, and their daughters are going to bring me their granddaughters. I'm going to conquer all those dragons and slay them before they breathe fire. I work with a group of Mary Co-Give directors, and I do a newsletter for them. And I added a page this month I want to share with you. Okay. I asked the directors and names of their consultants who had parties in January. Now, almost all these people live in the Midwest where we couldn't get out of our house in January. Like, literally, we could not get out of our house. It's the worst winter we have had in forever. I want to read you some numbers because if I'm going to grow you, and I'm going to help you run a company and be grounded and centered and principled and calm, you better be able to pay your mortgage, right? Okay, listen at these numbers of these parties in the worst month of the year when people couldn't get out of their house. Party totals, $1,407, $1,217, $1,099, $900, $790, $754. $625, $556. It goes on and on and on. This little girl down here, I know this little girl down here. She's 18. 18. Been in the company 5 months. $1,741. Who hosted the party? Her grandma. Who did she invite to the party? Her grandma's friends who have all the money. Okay? That little girl, the same week, had a $954 party with her friends and their mothers. This girl right here, was in Mary Kay in the 1990s. She was still hanging out in Mary Kay, not doing very much, got excited and thought, I ain't done yet, and brushed up her starter kit and learned how to get back out there and do a facial. She's on there for a $545 facial. You want to pay your mortgage? Go be with people. So I want to talk about this really strongly with all of you tonight, because you need to understand trends and you need to understand where the world is going, what works now and what's not going to work in the future, and you need to be prepared for it. All right? Now, in 2008, my good friend Vicky called me one day and she said, Linda, are you going to do this Facebook thing? Because that's when Facebook really got started, 2008. And I said, this is what I said. You know that sound you make out of the back of your throat when you're, got phlegm in the back of your throat? You go like that. I made that sound. And I rolled my eyes and I said, no, I'm not doing that Facebook thing. And she said these words. She said, Linda, if you don't go to Facebook and lead people, no, she said, Linda, if you want to know where your consultant and customers are going to be, they're going to be on Facebook every night. And if you don't go there and lead them, they'll find a different leader. And I was like, oh, okay. But here's what you need to hear me say. When I opened Facebook in 2008, write this down. I looked at Facebook. I knew enough about it to know how dangerous it was. And I said, I will use you and you will never use me. I will use you, but you will never use me. I use Facebook to honor my people. I use Facebook to honor my customers, to honor my consultants, to highlight them in front of their family and friends. I use Facebook for groups. The moment you scroll, Facebook uses you. It eats up your life. It destroys your mind. It makes you compare. You feel less than. Facebook is a lot of smoke and mirrors. I would tell you most of what you're seeing there is smoke and mirrors. People look successful, but when you dig down deep, they ain't. You can look successful and not be successful. It's smoke and mirrors. Should you use social media to help you in your business? Of course. People at my church found out I sold Mary Kay. Okay. But I'm not going to spend my life there because it will not use me. The moment you scroll, the moment you go to the feed, you're being used. And every minute you spend there looking at other people's lives, looking at their businesses, looking at all that smoke and mirrors is a minute that you spent away from the women that God would have put in your life had you gone and done a facial or a party and met with people. So let's talk about trends. Let's talk about where the world is going. We have just entered the era of AI. If you think it's bad now, hang on to your seat. All right. Now, let me speak to technology. Technology can be used for good and it can be used for evil. Facebook can be used for good. It can be used for evil. TikTok can be used for good. It can be used for evil. It's whoever's hands it's in. Nuclear energy can power a city and electricity, or it can destroy the world. It's all in the hands of the user. My son is a pediatric neurologist. His entire world has changed because of AI in a positive way. They are finding cures for diseases and DNA structure that they can prevent from ever happening because of AI. In the right hands, it's a miracle. In the wrong hands, it's evil. So I will use you but you will not use me. And that has to be your attitude about everything. So here's how this affects your Mary Kay business. I want you to think about the last time you tried to get somebody on the phone to help you. Maybe it was an electric bill. Maybe it was a company you ordered from, and you're like, I just want to talk to somebody. Just want to talk to somebody. I just need to talk to somebody, right? And it wanted me to like punch a number. And then I punched the number, and it wanted me to punch another number. And then I eventually got to a place it wanted me to talk to a chat box. And at some point, I'm screaming, I just want to talk to somebody. Just talk to me. Okay. We are at the beginning of AI. I had my Facebook hacked 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They erased me, just erased me. Facebook is controlled by AI. You will never talk to a human at Facebook. All right. All I wanted, I kept saying, I'll give you $10,000. I'll give you $10,000. Just answer the frickin' phone. Okay. What was I saying? What is humanity saying right now? I want what I cannot have. So if you think AI controls things now, wait, just wait till the future. So what does that tell you as a businesswoman? What women will want? I don't want to click one more link. I don't want to have no personal interaction. I want a woman who knows my name. I want a woman to actually sit down with me and help me. I want to order products from a human that texts me back. I want to order product from a woman who answers her phone and knows my mama just died. The world will hunger that at a level beyond belief. You are at the right place at the right time. Don't be separating yourselves from humanity. You invite. We are the only, I wished I was in charge of the building in Dallas. You know what our motto would be? We're the only makeup company in the world that wants a relationship with you. That would be my motto. We are the only company in the world that wants a relationship. So guys, is that what you're saying at your parties? Is that what you're saying at your facials? Is I want a relationship. When you buy my products, you get me. You get me, a real person who answers her phone, who answers her text, who cares about your kids, who is invested in you. So that's the future. Now, let me tell you the trends that are happening. You wouldn't know it by the world today, but it pays to be informed. In January, I think it was this January 2nd Wall Street Journal article, they listed the number one resolutions for 2026. For the first time ever, it wasn't alcohol. I'm going to quit drinking so much. It wasn't smoking. I'm going to quit smoking. It wasn't exercise. I need to lose weight. You know what it was? The number one resolution by people in America was, I'm going to limit social media. I'm going to limit scrolling. People in business will tell you social media has already ran its trend. It's on the downward slide. I pulled up a couple of big charts tonight before I got on here. The only demographic that hasn't had a steep drop in social media is people over 65. It's because they just now figured it out, probably. Okay? Every other demographic is on the downward slide. My children are in their 30s. My daughter has a social media because it's her job, but she has no personal page. My son would like vomit before he had a personal page, and my daughter-in-law rarely uses it. They're in their 30s. You have to understand the future. Social media is a thing. It can definitely help you, but I would not be trusting my life with it. That's all I'm going to say. Plus, it's the most unhealthy place on earth you could ever hang out, literally. Okay, so now let's talk about you, and I will wrap this up and we'll take a few questions. I just want you to know that what people are going to crave in the future is deep and meaningful relationships. It is what they're hungry for now. All the statistics tell you that people are the loneliest they've ever been in their life. And that is why there's $1,700 parties and $1,500 parties, is because they want companionship. They want to be with people. Okay. If you can't get to her physically, obviously this is a good alternative, but it's not the best alternative. Would it be better if I was sitting in a room with you tonight? Would it be better if I was sitting across the table from you tonight? Of course. It would be a million times better. That's the same with a facial. It's the same with a party, guys. So deepen your relationships with your customers. That's the future. Now, I'm going to ask you a series of questions about yourself. There was a game on television Sunday. Some of you watched it, some of you didn't. It was called the Super Bowl, where they take a football and they go up and down the field. All of those players, ask yourself, how many hours a week do you think they spend watching games and plays? They have spent thousands of hours watching themselves play the game, because that's the only way they're ever going to get better, is watching themselves play. So I'm going to ask you some questions. How many hours have you stood in front of the mirror or turned your camera around and recorded your class opening? How many hours have you practiced your class closing? In very bold letters on your notes tonight, I want you to write the words, Mary Kay is a skills-based business. Mary Kay is a skills-based business. If I woke you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, do your one-on-one consultation, what are the questions you ask on a one-on-one consultation? From a dead sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, you should be able to answer that question. See, the reason your business gets jerked around with your emotions is because it's not skills-based. If I'm in a good mood, I will figure it out. If I'm not in a good mood, I'm not going to do it. Then you're not a professional. You're not serious. You're not planning on making your mortgage payment. I'm planning on you making your mortgage payment. And if you're going to make your mortgage payment, you better know the words. You better memorize the words. Do you know the DISC system? If you say to a girl, tell me about yourself, and she tells you about her kids, what's her personality style? Do you know what she likes? Do you know what her fear is? Do you know what she'll buy, what she won't buy? Do you know why she'll recruit? If you ask a girl, like, tell me about yourself, and she says, what exactly do you want to know? Do you know her behavioral style? Do you know how to react to that? Do you know why she'll buy and why she won't buy? This is a skills-based business. You will spend your life learning the skill of people. Lipstick goes here, blusher goes here, eyeshadow goes here. Done. That's not what you're studying. You're studying humans. You're studying yourself. You're studying time management, money management, attitude management, healthy boundaries. That's what you're studying. And that is what's going to make you, my goal for tonight was to be grounded, centered, principled, and calm. I thank you all for being a great audience tonight. Janice, you said 30 to 40 minutes. I hope I met your goal. And I love and appreciate y'all. Y'all were all so on my heart tonight. And I pray that someone got a prayer answered tonight.
I think, Linda, they want to, no, don't stop. Keep going. I think that's what they're saying. No, don't you have any other words for us? Oh my goodness. So I think that that was great. And you all know that this is being recorded. So let me turn the recording off here in just a second. But Linda, I just want to say, I think the greatest thing is that we get so caught up in so what is not happening instead of actually making things happen. And you're one of my very few speakers that I actually take a lot of notes on. So because I just love the way you train. And I think that that is great. But we can do hard things and we can do things that push the boundaries. But I think today we have people who don't want to do that. So you have that resistance today. Don't you feel that a little bit?
Well, I have mixed emotions about that, because there is a train of thought out there amongst us in my age group that says young people aren't as disciplined today. I'm like, I think they are. maybe just not in the same volume. I have two children that are in their 30s. They're enormously disciplined. Okay. Their friends are enormously disciplined. Is there an abundance of people lacking discipline? Or is it media? Media lies to people. There's so much smoke and mirror in media and social media that's not the truth. So if you think of a bell curve, here's the bell curve. The loud, ugly, negative, unmotivated, highly toxic people are the loudest. And they're really the minority. But I think in the middle, Janice, it's like, are we looking for the brown or are we looking for the blue? I think if we could change our mindset and say, I'm going to go out here tomorrow and I'm going to find the girl with a work ethic. She's got 3 jobs. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to find the girl with fire and grit. I'm looking for her. I'm looking for the woman who just needs social. I think it's what we're looking for. And I think the world feeds us. Okay. I, oh my gosh, I could, well, don't get me started. Like, I know this thing listens to me, but I swear to God, I think it reads my eyes. I really do. Because I saw something today that I never see before, and it showed up in my feed, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Okay, but I do think it's the brown blue exercise we did at the beginning, Janice. I think if we, you, I, everybody started looking for the blue, we would find the blue.
You get what you look for.
Yeah, and look at these people. They found what they were looking for.
So
But
maybe
we
we're
can
just
take,
we're
we
not,
can
we're
take
not looking
questions.
enough though.
No, we're not looking enough. So, do we have any questions? I think we've got like 5
Oh,
minutes.
like do not open this. We are not doing that with 510 people on here. That is not happening. That is not happening. I'm going to turn this recording off.